Just a few weekends left in the college baseball regular season, and one team is just steamrolling their way, looking like they're going to be a top 8 national seed. That is the Texas A&M Aggies, and we are delighted to be joined here on Dugouts, Dumbbells, and Dingers by one of the stars of the Aggies here in 2026. Caden Sorrell joins us. David Kahn with you. Caden, so glad to have you on the show. So much to ask you about with this remarkable Aggies team here in 2026. But just for starters, it just seems like you guys are a team on a mission this year. You're never out of a game. You can always rely on somebody to come through in clutch moments. Coming into the season, was there just a killer instinct you felt among this group, or did it kind of develop as the season went along?
Yeah, I think there was definitely a little bit of an instinct. I think that this year we definitely had a lot to prove. Didn't play our best brand of baseball last year, so we knew this year again had a lot to prove. Wanted to go out there and show everybody what we were about, and so far we've done that.
Yeah, you certainly have. And it's such a stark contrast to last year in 2025, which was an injury-plagued year for you. You were dealing with that hammy injury. This team was really just, buried by injuries. And you end up coming back from that injury, tearing the cover off the ball when you're healthy, but ultimately no postseason for Texas A&M. And then you have a decision to make of whether you want to come back to College Station. So let's take this in two parts. First, what did you take away from last season with all the turmoil that you and the team went through?
Yeah, I would say, like, for me personally, just learning to, I guess, be grateful whenever you are healthy out on that field. I think, like my freshman year when I played, I never really thought about it. Never thought about getting injured. Never thought about the possibilities of missing half the year. And then, when that happens my sophomore year and, I'm out for 30 something games, sitting the bench, it kind of makes you take it all in and, makes you feel very appreciative when you are, healthy and able to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And now this year you've been fully healthy and just, having the best season of your career. So with all that in mind, what brought you back in 2026 to College Station?
I would say, just Coach Early. He's, I think he's the best at his job. He's an outstanding hitting coach. There's no other coach that I'd want to play for besides Early. Then on top of that, you got the university, the 12th man. We got a great fan base, great culture, great tradition. So there's really nothing that's, bad, being here. So I'm grateful that I, have the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, we're going to get into your head coach, the culture here. There are some incredible baseball traditions that are unlike anything else at Texas A&M. We'll talk about those in just a little bit, but let's talk about this year for you. You're having a career season. You just broke into the top 5 in homers at Texas A&M all time, and your best numbers ever in many offensive categories. What's been the biggest difference you've seen in yourself this year?
Yeah, I think biggest difference I would say. Finding a swing that's comfortable for me. I think there was a lot of times last year when I was in the box and I just wasn't comfortable with my swing. It wasn't very consistent. I think like the load in my swing was kind of different depending on the day. So this off season, like the main focus was just to find something and be consistent with it, and not have to worry about changing something every other day. Just being consistent with it.
So was that just really the biggest key to finding a comfortable swing, is just sticking with one and getting yourself to where it's just instinctual almost, where you're just at the plate and you don't have to think about it?
Yes, sir. Pretty much. Just finding something that's comfortable, something that don't have to worry about changing every day.
Yeah, that certainly helps when you're, not thinking about 800 things in the box. You're just like, all right, here's the pitch, and what can I do with it? You talked about your head coach, Michael Early. He's a competitive guy. And he said recently that the Texas A&M brand of baseball that he wants to instill in you guys is he wants you to be competitive and he wants you to be intense. I love that. I hear that. I want to go run through a brick wall for that guy. How has he instilled that in this team this season?
Yeah, I would say like every practice, like we have, a standard that we got to play to every single day. We're not just, showing up to the field to show up. There's always something we're working on, and he's made that abundantly clear every single day that we're showing up, we're getting better, we're working on something each and every single day and getting better, and not taking any days for granted.
when he does that, you say you focus on something every single day. Is there, like, when you walk in the team room or the whiteboard, like, is there just something pasted on there that says this is what we're focused on today, or is it more of a just whatever kind of comes from the weekend or the midweek that he and the coaching staff put together?
It usually comes from like the midweeks or like the conference weekend that we have. We'll show up, we have our practice plan for the day, get into the cages, and that's where he kind of talks to us and lets us know like what we're working on that day.
A couple of seasons ago, we had a good buddy of yours and still on the team, Gavin Grahovac, on the show when he was a freshman, along with you, and was just tearing the cover off the baseball. And he mentioned that Texas A&M practice is different. Like, you guys have some fun at practice, and I'm sure that's still the case. I think you guys were doing some fungo golf, if I remember correctly, a couple years ago. I think Hayden Schott was the leader in that. Is that still a part of the Texas A&M tradition, or have you guys turned on to something else?
Yeah, I mean, so it definitely started with Hayden Schott. He's really big on doing stuff like that. He had the camera out. He was posting on Twitter, posting on TikTok, all over the place. We didn't do it last year at all, which I was bummed out about. But this year we have been doing every Monday fungo golf. So,
okay,
carrying it on.
So if fungo golf is back, who's the best fungo golf player on Texas A&M in 2026?
This fungo golf player, that's tough. There's a lot of pretty good players. I would say Gavin is definitely not one of them. I think he is trying to keep my voice down so he doesn't hear me. But I would have to probably go with either Blake Binderup or Nico Partida. Nico's pretty good at fungo golf.
Wow, the freshman coming in and dominating. You love to see it. Okay. Is Gavin your roommate? Is that why you have to keep the voice down so he doesn't hear you? Okay.
He's all right. About 10 feet to the right of me right now.
All right, very good. Well, we'll get into your guys' relationship in just a second. What he says, Michael Early says, when he talks about you, he says that you're a guy that isn't afraid of the moment, and he calls you an absolute killer with a plan. What does that mean to you when you hear that from him? Because it seems like the two of you have a very strong relationship.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like I always, go in there trying to hit the ball as hard as I can. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to hit a homer every single AB. My main focus is staying up the middle and just trying to hit the ball as hard as I can. Have an approach looking for specific pitch in a specific zone, and if I get it, I'm going to go. I think it's all about the approach. If you have a good approach in there, then you're going to be lined up for success.
Yeah, I feel like what you just said at the start of that answer is really one of the keys, not the key, but one of the keys to being a really good hitter is you don't go up there trying to hit a home run every time. Like, you're looking for a spot, you're looking for a pitch, but you're not trying to hit it out of the ballpark. And I feel like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the players who don't look like they're trying to hit a home run every single time end up hitting more. You've got 20 plus this year. Like, I mean, it does work.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Yeah. All right, we're chatting with Caden Sorrell here on Dugouts, Dumbbells, and Dingers. Remember, the Texas A&M Aggies trying to stride back into the postseason after 2 years removed from being the national runner-up here in Omaha in Caden's freshman year. I know that probably seems like forever ago when you guys were in Omaha and were a game away from winning it all in 2024. But what do you remember about that experience, and does that still drive you and some of the guys that were from that team to get back there in 26?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think, obviously, like the goal of our season is to win a national championship, something that hasn't been done at A&M before. For me personally, like playing in Omaha was, the best experience of my life. Being able to play in front of 25,000 people on the biggest stage, it doesn't get any better than that. I remember going to Omaha. I can't remember which teams it might have been Arizona and Miami when I was like 13 years old. I had a tournament down there, and from then it was kind of always a dream to play in Omaha and play in front of the crowd. So it's an amazing feeling. I'm going to do everything in my power to get the team there, and I'm sure you could ask anybody else on the team, and they're going to sacrifice anything that needs to be sacrificed to get on that stage and win a national championship. I know the freshmen haven't experienced it yet, but once you experience it, it's you want to get back there as much as you can.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That just feeling, that taste in your mouth, like it just lingers. You
Yeah.
need to have it back. Like it's the oxytocin. Like you
Hmm.
need to get back there and continue to try and one up the previous performance. Before you came to Texas A&M, there was an article written about you where you said you were coming into college and you're just like, the way I look at it is I'm trying to take somebody's job. Like I'm just trying to take someone's job. Well, the job is yours now. Like you're a junior. This is you are one of the guys, the leaders of this team. You have a sustained job. So how has your philosophy shifted now that you're one of the elder statesmen at Texas A&M?
Yeah, I mean, trying to do whatever I can to help the team win. Whether it's me playing on the field or helping other guys out, giving insights. Just trying to do whatever I can to win. I know there's a lot of freshmen that are on our team that are playing, and they're lighting it on fire. They're all doing amazing. Jorian, Boston, and Nico, of course, they've all been absolutely nails for us. So doing whatever I can to keep their confidence up. Jorian being an outfielder with me, just being with him, doing outfield drills together, being in the cages together. Making sure that he stays hot because he's rolling right now.
Yeah, he really is. So, I mean, so is Nico Partita and Boston. You mentioned as well. Talk to me about these star-studded freshmen, man, because they are different. Like you said, they're nails. Like they have come in, and all of them have just contributed up and down the lineup in the pitching staff to Texas A&M. But focus in on let's focus on Nico and Jorian specifically. They've just been such major parts of the offensive success this year, haven't they?
They have. I mean, I could have told you that whenever we got to campus. I knew they were going to be studs. I mean, especially like when you're taking BP for the first time with Jordan and he's hitting balls 107 miles an hour in the cages on flips and darts. It's like, all right, this is absurd. I mean, he's a freshman and he don't look like a freshman. He's freaking 6'4", 240 pounds, 250 pounds. Like, just doesn't look like a freshman. And he's a young freshman too. I mean, he turned 18 a couple months ago. So I mean, he's got just so much potential. And same goes for Nico. Does the same thing, hits balls all over the place, extremely hard. And you add that with a 98 mile an hour fastball, which he hasn't really got to show off this year. Like, he's got all the tools. They both do.
So, okay, let's take both these in separate cases because you got Jorian, who's like he's built like a freight train. Like that guy, you meet him in a dark alley, you're running away because
Yeah.
that is a man right there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Mike Elko hasn't come and tried to take him to the football team. Like, I mean,
Me
come
too.
on.
Yeah.
He'd be dominating at Kyle Field. Like, let's go. And then you look at Nico. You brought up the 98 mile per hour heater. That is something I was unaware of that he had. So is there any plans? Has he been barking in coach's ears saying, "Hey, let me get on the mound. Let me throw. I want to do it."
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he would love to pitch. It's just, it's hard to, put a guy who's playing every single day in the lineup and put him on the mound. You don't really want to mess with anything that he's got going from right now. I'm sure, again, he would love to pitch. He's a great pitcher. I've faced him a couple times. But, when you're swinging it as well as he is, like, why not? You just don't want to mess with anything.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, why fix it? All right,
Yeah.
let's get into your roommate who's 10 feet to your right now, Gavin Grahovac. You guys have gone through a lot of the same ups and downs in your college baseball careers and at very similar times, right? Like, but you're both flourishing this year, and that's what we want to see. What's your relationship like with Gavin, and how have you two been able to rely on each other through some of the tougher moments during your career?
Yeah, I mean, Gavin's been a real close friend of mine for quite a while now. I went on my visit here at A&M with him when I was a junior in high school, so I've known him for a good amount of time. And yeah, he's been one of my best friends for since I got to campus. It was his roommate my freshman year. Last year wasn't roommates, but we still hung out all the time. And then this year we're roommates again. And I can't say enough good things about that guy. I mean, he's been an amazing friend of me. When I was hurt, wasn't easy. He was always there for me, and he got hurt. I tried to do the most that I could to be there for him, but it's a tough time. But yeah, I mean, really, really happy to have that guy in my life. He's been an amazing friend of mine.
Yeah, he said similar things about you a couple years ago when you guys were just freshmen. So glad to see that those things have only just continued to grow. What is your first memory of meeting Gavin Grahovac? What was your first impression of him? You said you guys go back a little bit.
First impression, I thought that he was like a JUCO guy that was on a visit with me just because he was, again, just built like a rock. I showed up and I was probably 6'3", 180 pounds, and then he's there and he's 6'3", 230 pounds. I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to look like right now? I don't understand. Yeah.
You're just like, I got to get in the weight room, man. Like, what's going on? So do we have to just shout out the nutritionist and your strength and conditioning program at A&M? Because, I mean, all these dudes are just coming in and they're yoked.
I don't know what they're feeding them, but yeah, they got to be shouted out for sure.
Well, what are they feeding you? What's your game day meal that you like to have pregame?
Pregame, we always pretty much get the same meal. It's Texas Roadhouse. You can choose steak bites, chicken, lasagna, some noodles. I love the biscuits with the butter that they got over there. So I usually go with the steak bites, a lot of rice, and then the biscuits with the butter.
That's the only order you get it. I mean, that's it. Steak bites, rice, butter, and biscuits. I mean, that sounds like primo pregame fuel. What about back at home? When you go home, what's the meal you're craving? You go home and go, Mom, Dad, I need the A1 meal from back home.
I love chicken teriyaki. So my mom makes chicken teriyaki with rice. She'll make that pretty much every single day for me, and then she'll make me a couple smoothies on top of that. So every time I go home, that's usually the first thing I'm getting is, chicken teriyaki with rice, and then a little banana smoothie to go with it.
Banana smoothie. Okay, I was going to ask what goes in the smoothies. All right, what's the other stuff besides banana?
She's got like her own secret ingredients that she uses, but I know there's banana. She puts some vanilla in there, obviously milk, peanut butter.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of ice cream. I don't know. She keeps a little secret. I kind of just watch TV, and then the smoothie just appears in my right hand. So it's usually how it goes.
It just appears. I love it. That's fantastic. Oh man. All right. One more for you before we take a quick break here. So what I got in my hand right now, this is called the Borgoball. Have you seen this? Is this floating around the A&M locker room?
I mean, it looks familiar. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Yeah, it's taken the college baseball nation by storm. It's called the Borgoball. So what it is, it's a foam baseball, but it's got raised seams. You can kind of see it on the camera right here that I'm showing you. You can feel the seams with your fingers. So, look, Nico's not getting enough time pitching. Just grab one of these. He can throw it wherever. It's foam. You can throw it in your dorm room. You could throw it at Gavin right now, and it wouldn't hurt him. I promise. And Nico could throw a 98-mile-per-hour heater, and it probably wouldn't hurt as bad as it would if he hit you with the real baseball.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a foam baseball. You can throw any. I mean, I can throw a slider with this, and I haven't pitched since junior year of high school. Yeah. So you can throw this stuff. It's great. It's made by these guys called the Backyard Baseball Bros. BackyardBaseballBros.com. 4-pack for $20. You get a bat. You can get a bat. You can get a strike zone. You get softballs, baseballs. They got it all. They're amazing. What they're doing this year for us as being a sponsor of the podcast is any team that doesn't have these in their locker room, they're sending a 4-pack your way for you guys to mess around with. Yeah, so after the show, I'm gonna get the address of your athletic department. We're gonna send them to your attention. They'll be in your inbox before you know it.
Awesome.
You guys can mess around with them. But they sponsor a segment on the show, and it's called the Borgoball Moment That Delivered. And basically what that is it's a moment that lives rent-free in your head from your baseball career. It can be at Texas A&M. It can be anywhere else. It can be this season. It can be another season. So when I say that to you, what sticks out to you is a Borgoball moment that delivered for Caden Sorrell?
I would say like just any moment that I've had in life in baseball, like my favorite moment.
Okay.
I would probably go with South Carolina from last year. I think that was like the first full series that I played, being healthy. Actually, I think that was the second because it went Tennessee and then South Carolina.
Okay.
And then I think it was game one. Was a close ball game. I think we were in the bottom of the 10th inning. Went up there, leadoff hitter of the inning. looked for a heater middle away, and I got that exact pitch and put a good swing on it, and then walked it off in the 10th inning. So that's always been a pretty cool moment of mine. Either that or hitting a home run in Omaha. There's nothing like hitting a homer in Omaha. So both those are cool.
Yeah, hitting a home run in Omaha. That's pretty unbeatable. I would agree with that. All right, so the walk-off homer, that was April 10th of last year against South Carolina. You hit the walk-off home run for them to win 8-7. Is that, first of all, tell me if I'm wrong, is that the only walk-off home run you've ever hit, or what is that feeling like of hitting a walk-off home run for those who've never experienced it?
I think that is the only walk-off homer I've hit. But it was when I'm not like one to brag. Hit it off the bat and I knew it right away. So, just kind of like, I didn't really know how to control my emotions. I hit it and, I was jumping up and down, screaming, kind of blacked out a little bit. So I don't remember all the feelings. But I was definitely on cloud nine for quite a while. And especially after a game like that, it's hard to fall asleep at night just because you got so much adrenaline rushing through you. So I'm sure I probably ended up falling asleep at like 3 a.m. that night just because I was, still on cloud nine. But there's no better feeling than, hitting a walk-off home run.
No, there certainly isn't. And we'll bring you back there right now with the audio call from that I just dug up from our archives by Andrew Monaco.
The righty Sweeney, the lefty Sorrell, bottom of the 10th, tied at 7. First pitch. Fly ball left field. This has carry. Olsen magic. Caden Sorrell. The walk-off in the bottom of the 10th. 8-7. Texas A&M.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, there it is. Andrew Monaco, the Texas A&M Sports Network from Learfield. I was going to ask you about this later, but I'm going to ask you right now. I've heard you have aspirations to be in the booth as a sportscaster. Is that true?
In the booth, I might have said that like my freshman year.
Okay.
Maybe like at some point down the line.
After retirement, you play first. Yeah.
Definitely could see myself getting into something like that. But we'll see. Who knows? I'm majoring in ag leadership right now. Trying to, I'll be honest, like I kind of asked for like what's the easiest route, just focus on baseball and all this and that, and they gave me ag leadership. So
listen, there's no shame in that
right now, but we'll see what happens when I'm done with baseball.
Yeah, there's no shame in that. You're a good talker. We've been going for 23 minutes here on this interview, so you could definitely put the headset on and talk about ball. You obviously know the game, and I'm sure if you went to a guy like Andrew who's been around Texas A&M for forever, he'd certainly give you the opportunity. I think Hayden Schott is with him sometimes.
I was in a little interview with Hayden after the Tuesday game, and I'm not saying he's bad at his job, but like when you play with a guy and you're really close with someone for 2 years, it's a little hard to take their questions serious without laughing. Especially like, I'm in the dugout doing my interview and I look up and I see Hayden Schott just kind of like leaning over, staring at me, talking to me. So it's definitely tough to take, serious, but he's good.
Listen, you can't take Hayden Schott seriously ever. Like, no matter what. You just can't. All right, we're going to take a quick break, 60 seconds, back with some quick hitters with Caden Sorrell here on 3D.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
What if you could throw MLB-style pitches anywhere without breaking anything? Introducing the Borgoball. Designed by former Division I players and a small family-run brand, this foam baseball is safe to use anywhere, including indoors. Featuring raised seams that mimic a real baseball, you can feel and see the spin of a 12-6 curveball and a sweeping slider, or watch a sinker plummet to the plate. Time to turn your space into a mini baseball diamond. 4-packs are available for just $20, but the family fun backyard memories, those are priceless. Use code BORGO10 for 10% off your first order at backyardbaseballbros.com today.
All right, back on Dugouts, Dumbbells, and Dingers. David Kahn, Caden Sorrell of the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies is with us as we continue along. Here's some quick hitters for you as we get set to get you out the door. We've talked about the Texas A&M baseball traditions. There's a bunch of them. Ball 5 chant, blowing bubbles, the rattling bog, counting trains. I mean, you name them, they've got them. And your fans are excellent hecklers. I mean, top tier. And I actually appreciate the fact that they are not only excellent, they're respectfully excellent hecklers. Like, they get you, but they don't go over the line, which is it's hard to do, but they do it well. What's your favorite A&M baseball tradition of all the ones I listed?
Favorite tradition? Man, there's so many.
Yeah.
I would probably go with the ball 5 chant. I think it's really cool, especially like having a crowd that's all in sync, saying the same thing at the same time. It's pretty cool. They did that against UT, and it was crazy. I mean, we had a good probably 10,000 people at the game, and they were all in sync doing it at the same time, and the stadium was loud. I mean, really loud. It was really cool.
I honestly just hate that you guys didn't get to play that third game because of the weather. But I mean, you guys were on. It seemed like you were about to sweep those guys. Like you guys were playing on another level, and you're right. The stadium was electric. I love that the Ball 5 crew comes to Hoover every year and does it at the SEC tournament. That's one of my favorite things. They blow the bubbles. I think that's awesome. Do they? I know. I think this was 2022. This became a thing. You guys had the whammy wagon, the luggage cart that you guys had in the dugout, and then there was a Pringles can where you guys would get fed Pringles if you scored a run or threw a shutdown inning. Are those still alive in the dugout?
No, they stopped doing that after 23 or 22. Okay. Before I got there. They're doing it the year before, and then they stopped doing it whenever I got there. Last year it was the green jacket. Freshman year, the rattling bog became a thing. And this year we kind of changed it to a song called Turbulence. Gets the crowd booming, gets it loud. Guys like it, so not going to change anything right now for sure.
No, I would not. I think you cause a lot of turbulence for other teams when you guys are on the field, for sure. All right, Kyle Field or Bluebell Park, better environment at A&M, which one?
I don't know if I can even put those. I mean, I want to say Bluebell just because I'm a baseball player, but I mean, I've been to a ton of football games, and it gets loud. I mean, we get 110,000 people there sometimes. So it's really hard to compare the two, especially when like it's usually pretty much the same fans that are showing up for football, also showing up for baseball. So I mean, I put both of them at A tier. I don't think one beats the other. I think it's pretty even.
That's a fair answer, honestly. I don't know if you watched the documentary on Netflix, Any Given Saturday, where they showed the environment at Kyle Field. Wow. I would not want to be an opposing team in there.
I don't know how the quarterback hears or like the line. Like when they snap a ball, I don't know how they don't jump off sides every single time. I wouldn't be able to hear.
Exactly. You come from a very athletic family. Your dad, both your grandfathers in the pros, and I know one of them, Tom Griffin, has been able to be with you on basically every step of your baseball journey and also taken you to quite a few major league parks along the way. So first off, how many parks have you gotten to in MLB?
I've been to all the California ballparks. I think I've probably been to, I would say, at least half. I remember on my 13th birthday, my grandparents have a tradition with me and my sister and all my cousins. They take us wherever we want to go, whatever state we want, and then we kind of just explore the state. 13-year-old, I chose California just so I could visit as many ballparks as I could. So over a week span, we went and saw every ballpark there was, and it was awesome. It was great. It was a great time.
Wow. Okay, so you hit the Giants, the Angels, the Dodgers, the Athletics, and the Padres.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Good for you. That's incredible. What a great trip. Oh, my goodness. All right, so second question on that. What's the best story that your grandpa has told you? I read that he played with Dave Winfield, Joe Morgan, Nolan Ryan, Willie Stargell. Like, those are legends. He's got to have some incredible stories.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I haven't really even dug into him about any like crazy stories. I mean, he's told me like a couple minor league stories,
Okay.
um, and how blessed I am to live in the day and age that I am today. Because he's told me a lot on how rough being in the minor leagues was back then.
Mm.
Other than that, he hasn't really told me any crazy stories. Next time I see him, I'll have to dig into him a little bit.
Yeah, get that intel. Yeah, for sure. You gotta find out. He said about you, because he was describing in high school you used to wake up at 5 a.m. for workouts and extra training sessions. He said, I haven't seen anybody with a better work ethic besides Nolan Ryan than my grandson. Like that's a pretty cool comparison to compare you to one of the greats.
Yeah, that is cool.
Do you still get up at 5 a.m.?
No, I mean not anymore. That'd be a lot to keep waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. I did a lot in high school just so I could work out before school started. Being here, don't have school too much, have a lot of online classes. So there's, why not get a little more sleep? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, we'll close up with this one. You got a few weekends left in the regular season. Postseason's coming. Texas A&M right now is a top 8 national seed, which would mean regionals and super regionals at Bluebell Park. What's the goals for you and this team as you wind down the regular season and get ready for hopefully another run back to Omaha?
Yeah, I mean, just keep winning games, keep the momentum going. We don't need to change anything from our approach. We just got to keep showing up every single day at the field, wanting to get 1% better. And, if we all have that mindset, then I think we're going to be in a great position come playoffs. So I'm excited.
All right,
the rest of the guys are excited. We want to have a regional and a super regional at Bluebell Park. I want to see that environment again from 2 years ago. It's, something you'll never forget. And, especially want these new guys to see the environment come playoffs. So, that's the goal, have a regional and a super regional at Olson.
Yeah, we certainly hope you guys keep causing some more turbulence for everybody that dares to walk into Bluebell Park and College Station. Caden, really appreciate the time. It's been awesome to get to chat with you. Love following this Aggies team. Love following your career as it's come for the last few years. And best of luck to you guys the rest of the way. We'll be following you, and I will see you in Hoover at the SEC tournament in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Caden Sorrell, the Texas A&M Aggies. You're on Dugouts, Dumbbells, and Dingers.